Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hello students, welcome back to my next part of the video on the chapter tissues from class 9 biology. This is the part 5 video on animal tissues. What we are going to learn in this video, I have already mentioned in the last session, and now I think you are clear with the pictures. Yes, it's about the muscular and nervous tissue. Let's go into the content. Before we go into it, let's have a quick recap on the last session. The last session we have seen about the connective tissues. Can you identify this picture? Yes, it is the fluid connective tissue. It is the blood. The next is a skeletal connective tissue, bones, cartilages, tendons and ligaments. Can you identify the fibers as the matrix? Yes, it is the areolar connective tissue. The last is the fat cells. The connective tissues with the fat cells, it's nothing but the adipose connective tissue. And the cells are called as adipocytes. Let's go into the topic. Now you can see the detailed classification. We start with that. We already have finished the epithelial tissues, connective tissues. Now we are going to see in detail about the muscular and nervous tissue. Muscular tissues. What are muscular tissues? These are the tissues which constitutes all the muscles of an animal body. The cells are usually elongated, large-sized, and exist as fibers. They are arranged parallelly, allowing them to work together for facilitating the movement of a body. The muscles contains special proteins called the contractile proteins. These are the proteins which is responsible for contraction and relaxation of the muscle movement. On the basis of their location, structure and function, these muscles are classified into three types. The first one is striated muscles, also called as the skeletal or voluntary muscles. Smooth muscles, also called as the unstriated or involuntary muscles. Third one is the cardiac muscles. Let's see in detail about them one by one. First we will look on to the striated muscles. We should be clear with the structure. The structure of a striated muscle fiber is that they are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleated. Can you see the picture? Can you observe this picture, children? So this is a long cylindrical structure. You can see them unbranched and you can see multinucleated, that is many nucleus. 1, 2, 3, 4. So plural of nucleus is nuclei. So there are many nucleus existing in this one single cell of a muscle fiber. You can see a dark and light bands here and there. Next to next they are arranged. These are called as the striations. You can see a light and the dark band next to next seen. Where you can see these muscles, this is a picture taken from the limbs of the human body. Okay. So these striated muscles are seen in the limbs. So these dark bands called as the striations, which facilitate the rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles. These are the muscles which can be controlled by conscious will, and so they are called as the voluntary muscles. Where they are present, the limbs, tongue, pharynx and the body wall. Conscious will means you can control them. If you want to take a book, you can take it by your hands. If you want to take your food to your mouth, you can take your food and keep it in your mouth. So that is the conscious will. So this is the action of a voluntary muscle. Function. They are responsible for the movement of the limbs. That is, it facilitates the locomotion. The last picture shows the microscopic view of a real striated muscle. Next we will look on to the smooth muscles. The structure is a long pointed end, with the pointed ends. Can you see this picture? This is a long with pointed, both the ends are pointed. This shape is called a spindle shaped. This is not branched, unbranched, and it is with a uninucleated, that is single nucleus. You can see only one nucleus in a cell. They do not have any striations, and so they exhibit slow contraction. These are the muscles which cannot be controlled by a conscious will. Okay, so they are called as involuntary muscles. Example, movement of food in the alimentary canal, can we control it? No. The contraction and relaxation of the blood vessels, the contraction and relaxation of iris, whatever the actions inside the internal organs, they are not under our control. Such organs are taken under control by these types of involuntary muscles. Functions, they are involved in the contraction, working and mobility of the internal organs. Next we will see about the cardiac muscles. Can you see the picture? Cardiac refers to heart. So it is the special type of muscles you can see only in the heart tissue. Let's see in detail. So they are present in the walls of the heart, so they are called as the cardiac muscles. The type of the muscle is that they are short, cylindrical, and here they are branched. So these are the only type of tissues which are branched among the muscle tissues, and they are uninucleated. You can see cross striations with a dark and light band, so they can exhibit a rapid contraction and relaxation which causes the heartbeat. The action is involuntary. The picture shows a microscopic view of the real cardiac tissue under microscope. The function is they cause the heartbeat. Next we will look on to the last type of animal tissue, but a very important tissue which will control and coordinate all the other organs in the organism. So nervous tissues are the tissues which are specialized to transmit messages from one part of the body to another part of the body. How this happens? This is by the presence of highly specialized cells called nerve cells or neurons, which makes up the nervous tissue. We look on to the structure of a neuron. The neuron structure consists of three main parts. The first one is the cell body or cyton. It has one nucleus and cytoplasm. The next one is the axon. It is a long structure arising from the cyton. The last is the dendrons and dendrites. So from the picture we can get cleared. So this is the cell body, and this is the axon. The yellow colored belongs to axon, and the cell body give rise to small extensions called the dendrons. The dendrons gives rise to further hair-like structures called the dendrites. Through the dendrites, they get connected with the one neuron gets connected with the another neuron through these dendrons and the dendrites. The structure is very important. Location, where we can find them? We can find these tissues in the brain, spinal cord and nerves. Functions, it enables the organism to respond to a stimuli from the environment. It by transmitting the messages in the form of impulse. So this is the main role of a nervous tissue, which makes the organism to respond to a stimuli to the particular environment. The tissue, this picture shows a clear view of a real nerve cell under microscope. Yes, that's it, students. We have completed the chapter. That's about the chapter 2 tissues. We have completed entirely, and I hope you all have understood and have a clear picture of the concept on this topic. Thank you very much.